So, what is your favorite era of music?
Probably, that's a hard question. I think actually now I think there's a lot of cool stuff happening. I really like kind of folk revival things that are going on now, but probably other than that, like the kind of 1960s singer-songwriters stuff. Yeah.
And how do you think that rock has transformed over the years? Like the biggest transformation?
I mean, I think probably one of the biggest transformations is the way that people use technology. It's just crazy now the way that, all of the sounds people can get that you couldn't get 50 years ago, and the way that, not even just in electronic music, but the way that it's transformed things that we think of as being acoustic music just through auto-tune and, overdubbing, or you can, harmonize with yourself now, on a recording. So I think that's probably the biggest thing.
And, what do you think, was the beginning of rock music? When you think of the beginning?
The beginning?
Yeah.
Well, it really came out of rhythm and blues, and I think out of a strong tradition in the African American communities in the U.S. And but I think that we owe a lot to that tradition of rhythm and blues, and kind of the way that that kind of crossed over to the pop genre in the 1950s.
And then, who are the top 3 bands or artists that you think have had the greatest impact?
Oh my gosh, that's such a hard question. I guess right off the top of my head, I think the Beatles, the way that they transformed studio sound, just
well, I was just wondering,
editing things in the studio is kind of amazing. I mean, probably somebody like Chuck Berry and those early blues guitarists had a huge impact on a lot of what we do now. Top 3 transforming musicians, hard to think about. I mean, maybe I can't think of somebody who would have transformed kind of like modern electronica genre. I mean, maybe somebody like Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
And the way that he revolutionized how you had to be a dancer and you have to look a certain way to be a musician now, and the way that he used electronic music is pretty transformative.
And how do you think rock music will continue to progress in the future?
I think there's going to just be, I guess the general trend in knowledge in a lot of areas now is just towards more diversity. There's so, with globalization and access to music around the world, there's so much to draw on. So I guess I would expect things to become even more varied and diverse.
And are there any current bands that you believe capture all of the components of early classic rock?
She's doing
I wonder. Just a second. All of the components of early classic rock, or really intrigued that.
Yeah.
I guess one. Now I'm forgetting the name of it. Was it Nathaniel something? The Night Sweats?
Oh, Nathaniel Ratecliffe.
Ratecliffe and the Night Sweats. I hear them lately, and they're just doing a lot of things that I think harken back to classic rock.
Yeah.
They have a kind of that sort of appeal. So I guess that's one that I think of. Yeah.
And which subgenre of classic rock do you think has had the greatest cultural impact?
Oh, I guess I gotta say Southern rock, because of the way that it's been politicized, and I mean that's a whole kettle of fish to talk about. But obviously, what it means to be a Southerner in America in light of the history of racial oppression in that area I think there's a lot of meat there in terms of things to write about, both from kind of maybe from both sides of the civil rights movement, and the genre of Southern rock has been politically controversial, and I think is still important. Kind of an interesting way that people express what does it mean to be a Southerner.
Definitely.
Today, so yeah.
And do you think that future generations will continue to listen to the classic rock, the Beatles and stuff like that?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I think it holds up. So it lasted this long.
I do too.
Yeah.
And why do you think that rock has continued to develop so much and just change?
I think just because with technology, we can hear everything now. So I think the main thing is we can go on the internet and listen to any song you want, and because of that, it influences people's songwriting. So there's people who are making new music now are exposed to all kinds of stuff, and I think that's really, has really affected how people write.
And my last question is, are there any common themes in the different types of music throughout the years that you've noticed?
Oh yeah, I think just people who are really have an earnest desire to better the world is in all kinds of ways. But I'd say that's a common theme, whether it's a particular political agenda or just personal transformation. So.
All right, awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
You're welcome. No problem.